What up? What up? What's going on, everybody? It's your man Lucky. I'm back with another one. Fellas, listen to me and listen to me very well. This is very important. Listen to me, okay? Every time I do videos and I talk about dominance, right? I talk about how to be dominant, how to be dominant in a relationship, how to dominate a woman. It seems like a lot of guys kind of, latch on to that type of content. I don't necessarily want to say latch on, but find interest. I get a lot of views when I talk about things like that, how to be dominant in a relationship. So I figured I'd do another one and I don't know, try to get a little more in detail, maybe. Listen, I've said this before and I'll say it again. Being dominant in a relationship has nothing to do with control. It's not about controlling a woman. It's not about making a woman do something. It's not about bullying a woman. It's not about manipulating a woman at all. That's not what dominance is about. Okay. Being dominant in a relationship is all about number one, yourself. It's all about number one, yourself. How you view yourself, how you value yourself, how you handle yourself, okay? How you maneuver. It's all about you, your level of self esteem, your level of confidence. You can never, ever, ever be dominant in any situation if you're not confident. Dominance is about how you, I don't want to say control a room. It's because again, it's not about control, but it's about influence. It's about how you move and then how people perceive your movement. You don't have to make anybody do something for you to be dominant in the situation. It's all about perception, how that person views you. Okay. Dominance for a man, in my opinion, especially in a relationship, is a must. Again, I'm not saying you got to be a bully. I'm not saying that you have to be a manipulator. But in my opinion, guys, you have to be able to have a certain level of influence over the woman that you're in a relationship with. Let me ask you this. You ever been in a relationship with a woman and she don't listen to nothing you say, but she'll listen to her mother, she'll listen to her friends, she'll listen to her coworkers. Matter of fact, man, she'll listen to social media before she listens to you. You have no influence over her. That's not a good situation, okay? How many times have you had an experience where you told a woman to, either do something or you gave her some advice or you tried to lead her or guide her or something like that in some way, shape, or form or fashion, and she didn't really go along with what it is that you had to say. But then, I don't know, a day or two, a week or two, a month or two, whatever, she comes back to you and she says, oh, you were right. You were right, about that situation you talked to me about. You understand what I'm saying? She comes back to you after the fact. You didn't have influence over her. She probably was influenced by somebody else. She listened to what they told her, and then what they told her didn't work. So she implemented what you told her, and what you told her worked. And then she came back to you and let you know that you are right. A lot of times, that's what happens, guys. You want to be her main influence. You want to be that person who, when you say this is what it is, she understands that that's what it is. But, guys, that doesn't happen overnight. You have to show and prove in order to win influence over her. You cannot be that guy that does not get things done. Women do not respect a man who doesn't get things done. You can't be lazy. All right. Your self-esteem has to be high, guys. You have to value yourself. You have to hold yourself in high regards. When you hold yourself in high regard, she sees that you hold yourself in high regards, and she understands that she must hold you in high regard as well. Guys, let me explain something to you. If you accept any type of behavior from a woman, any type of behavior from a woman that is not becoming of the type of behavior that is acceptable for you, and she knows this, and there are no consequences or repercussions for her actions, you will never be able to have dominance in that relationship. You won't, period, point blank. You have to apply pressure. You have to apply consequences and repercussions when there are certain things that are supposed to be done and they're not done. If you accept bad behavior, that's on you. If you're accepting her bad behavior, she'll know that you are accepting her bad behavior. You'll never, ever, ever be able to dominate a woman or be dominant in a relationship if you do not address, if you do not check bad behavior. Now, listen, I can't tell you what bad behavior is for you. Only you can determine what bad behavior is. Now, do I think that there are some, like a foundation to where behavior shouldn't fall below? Do I think there's a line? Yeah, I think there's pretty much a line across the board. But again, at the end of the day, only you can determine what bad behavior is. When you have made the determination that there's bad behavior in the relationship, it must be checked. And guys, let me tell you something. Don't wait until you can't take it anymore that you check the disrespect or the bad behavior. You check it the very first time that it happens. The very first time when you have to think about like something that she did and you think about it like, wait, hold on. If it pops into your mind like that, you must address it. I'm not saying you got to crash out. I'm not saying you got to go crazy, make a scene and pots and pans all across. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying you got to jump up and, be in a threatening manner or try to scare somebody into acting right. No, it's simple. You let her know, hey, listen, this type of behavior right here is not acceptable and that be that. Now, when you let that be known, you got to stand on business. There is no way at all that you're going to be dominant in a relationship where you accept bad behavior. Even if you address the bad behavior and the bad behavior happens again and you let it slide, after you've addressed it, forget about it. You're never going to be able to be dominant in that situation. Let me tell you guys, there is one thing that you must have in order to be dominant in a relationship. And if you do not have this one thing, you'll never be dominant in a relationship. You'll never be dominant over a woman at all. Okay? Let me explain something to you fellas. I talk about this all the time. Never, ever, ever be afraid to lose a woman. I'm telling you right now, women can smell fear. A woman knows when you're scared to lose her. How does she know? She knows by the consequences and the repercussions that you put or do not put on her. A woman knows when she's violating you. A woman knows when she's disrespecting you. There are little times maybe early in a relationship that she doesn't really understand what is disrespectful to you or blah, 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 depending on what her past was like and, whether other guys allowed her to disrespect them and did they check it or not. She may think that the things that she got away with in the past, she can get away with you. So, yeah, you're going to have to check those things in the beginning, and she might not really realize that is disrespectful because she was never checked on it before. And again, every man is different. There's different levels to this. You know what I'm saying? What she may have been able to get away with in the past dealing with someone else, he may not have saw certain things as disrespectful. He might not have been that dude, but you that dude. And so now that's not going to fly with you. You have to address it. She may not realize that, okay, he considers this disrespectful, so I can't do that. But I'm telling you, once you address the disrespect, the next time it happens, you have to stand on business, period, point blank. If you do not have the ability to stand on business, you will never, ever be dominant, period. That's just the way this thing goes, guys, and you just have to understand that that's how it goes. Now, I get it, guys. A lot of us are in long-term relationships. A lot of us are in marriages, and, we have fallen in love with that woman. We have an emotional attachment to that woman, and we're at the point where we do not want to lose this woman. I get it. I've been there. It doesn't change the game. You still have to stand on business, regardless of what your situation is, regardless of how deep you're into the situation. regardless of how much you have invested in the relationship, in the woman, in the situation, it does not matter. See, let me tell you something. The more and more you're invested in that relationship, women understand that sometime as a man, oh, she knows I got him. I got him. He ain't gonna walk away. He's at a situation, he's in a situation where he could lose this and lose this and lose that. And a lot of times you guys, you get weak because you're thinking about all the things that you could possibly lose if this relationship comes to an end. So you sit back and you start to accept little disrespect here and little disrespect there, and you start accepting a whole bunch of foolishness because all you're thinking about is all the things that you could lose. You don't want to go from the particular lifestyle that you live right now, down to a whole a lower lifestyle. You understand what I'm saying? You live in a big house, you drive a nice car and all of that. So you're going to sit back and start accepting all type of disrespect because you don't want to, go through a situation where, okay, we're going through a breakup right now. We're going through a separation. We're going through a divorce. Now my money is funny. I ain't got no bread. I got to move out. I got to live in a one bedroom shack. I got to live in a studio apartment. Hell, I got to live in my car. I got to live in a storage unit. So a lot of you guys get scared of what it is that you're going to have to go through. And so that scariness that you have in you is going to cause you to allow disrespect. You will never, ever, ever be dominant as a man if you're scared to lose a woman. See, guys, the one thing that you must be able to have, the one thing you must be able to execute on in order for you to be dominant in a relationship, in order for you to be dominant over a woman, in order for you to be dominant in any situation that you're in, you must, at minimum, have the ability to walk away. If you cannot walk away from a person, if you cannot walk away from a relationship, if you cannot walk away from a job, if you cannot walk away from a family member, you will become a slave to whatever it is that you are fearful to walk away from. You understand what I'm saying? If you cannot walk away from money, I'm going to say it again. If you cannot walk away from money, you will become a slave to money. If you cannot walk away from that job, you become a slave to that job. If you cannot walk away from that woman, you will become a slave to that woman. Guys, you can never, ever, ever have a fear of walking away from a woman. I'm telling you right now, if you ever are in a situation where you're fearful to walk away from a woman, understand you will never, ever, ever be dominant in that situation. Ever. I'm going to tell you right now, the more emotionally attached you are to a woman, the more likely, okay, the more guaranteedly, I don't even know if that's a word, but I'm just saying, when you cannot walk away from a woman, you cannot be dominant. A woman has to know that you will walk away from her at the drop of a dime. See, let me tell you something, man. People respect the consequences and the repercussions of their actions. People respect the fact that, he's that dude that'll get up and walk away. A woman will respect the fact that, he's not to be played with. Y'all get what I'm trying to say? Your superpower as a man is your ability to walk away from a woman at any given time. Now, I'm not saying you're supposed to be the man out there that anytime something pops up, I'm out of here. Every time something pops up, we done. Every time something pops up, I'm gone. Every time something pops up, you got to leave. I'm not saying that. Yeah, you're going to have little issues here and there, especially you in a long-term relationship, especially as a married man. I get that, but you can't get weak. You cannot get weak. You still have to stand on business. And just because you lock down on paper doesn't mean that you can't walk away. I'm not saying give up every time something happens, but guys, when it gets to a certain point, she has to know that you'll walk away. And the only way that she will know that you will walk away is that you got to walk away. Period. A woman will never know that you have the ability to walk away until you walk away. And I'm telling you, if there are any guys out there that are watching this and you're in a situation right now where you're contemplating, man, do I leave? Do I stay? Or whatever it is. Listen, let me tell you something, man. You cannot love a woman into loving you. I don't care how good loving she was in the beginning. What has she done for you lately? What's the condition of your relationship now? You got to reevaluate your situation over and over and over. You can't just say, well, we've been together 10 years and, 10 years ago she did this and 5 years ago she did this and 2 years. Man, come on, listen. What has she done for you lately? Now, I get it. I get it. Sometimes you look back at the situation and say, well, you know what? These are all of the things that she did and this and that. And so you want to, you know what I'm saying? You want to give them credit for, the work that they put in or whatever. But where y'all at right now? Where y'all at right now? What's going on right now? Guys, if you don't have the ability to walk away, you will never be dominant in any situation, period, point blank. The ability to walk away is almost like a superpower that every man must have. You must have the ability to walk away. You become a slave to whatever it is that you cannot walk away from. Let me explain something to you. You teach people how to treat you. And the way that you teach people how to treat you is by your reaction or your response. That's a better word. Response. See, because the reaction is just simply, like you don't even think about it. Something happens and you just turn around and you pop back. You didn't give it any thought. When you respond to something, you've given it some thought. You've weighed the pros and cons, the ups and downs, and then you've had the ability to overlook the situation and say, okay, now I'm going to make a decision based on the thought process. When you react, and there really is no thought process. It's just like I'm trying to think of the words. I don't know, but you don't have the ability to think things out. You just act on it. You ever did something and then later on you thought about it and was like, maybe I shouldn't have did that. That's because you reacted to whatever the situation was. You didn't respond to the situation. I'm the type of person, I think when I was younger, I pretty much just, I don't know. When I was younger, I just had a temper. I was any little thing. Now I think about things, think things over. That's the difference between reacting and responding. But guys, you got to respond. If she's coming to you with disrespect, if she's violating you, whatever it is, whatever behavior is unbecoming to you, you must address it. And if you do not have the ability to address it, or you've addressed it and you do not have the ability to walk away, you will never be dominant in a relationship. Period. Guys, dominance is about influence. You have to be able to influence the decisions that she makes. Period. You don't want to be that dude who, she comes to you with an issue, you give her your thoughts on it, or you give her a solution and then she has to run your solution through somebody else. If she's taking your solution and she's running it through somebody else, that somebody else is the dominant one. I'm just telling you right now. If she has to run your solution through somebody else to see what it is that they think, you are not the dominant one in that relationship. You're not dominant. Somebody else, whoever it is that she's running your solution through, is who's dominant. Whether it be her friends, her family, or whoever. That's who's dominant. That's who has the influence, not you. See, guys, you'll never be dominant in a relationship if you can't walk away. It's just that simple. If she's not afraid to lose you, I'm going to just say it again. If she's not afraid to lose you, she does not have a reason to correct her behavior. If you're in a situation right now where you're trying to correct bad behavior and you're having absolutely no luck, it's not working out, everything that you're doing to try to get the behavior corrected is not working out, guys, that's a situation that you got to walk away from, period, point blank. Why are you staying in a situation that does not serve you? It does not serve you to stay in a relationship that you're not getting out of it what you want out of it. What is the point? Guys, you got to be afraid to lose it all. Walk away from whatever it is that you have invested in there. You got to leave it. If not, you will become a slave to it. And that's a guarantee. Look, man, y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Any of you guys ever had situations where, let me ask you, Have you ever had a situation where you walked away from a woman and then that woman came back? She circled the block. She realized, like, oh, you know what? I messed up. Like, a woman has to feel that loss. She has to feel that loss of you not being there. And this is how you going to know whether or not a woman is really there for you or not. You understand what I'm saying? If you walk away and she's cool with it, then you got to know that you weren't dominant in that situation anyway. Matter of fact, she really didn't even like you, because if a woman really, really likes you, if you really that dude, oh nah, she's going to correct her behavior and she's going to do anything and everything to get back. Now, I get it. A lot of you guys are like, yo, once you gone, that's it. She can't circle back or whatever. Never take an ex back and all that stuff. Fine. However you handle yourself after the fact, that's on you. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm simply saying, when you have the ability to walk away, if that woman is really, really there for you, and I'm not talking about now you take the money away and so now she's coming back because she need that money and all that. Come on, I know y'all know that there are women out here, regardless of what you see on social media and all of that, there are women out here that are footing the bill. Y'all get what I'm saying, right? There are plenty women out here that are footing the bill. Okay? A woman will foot the bill. So you got to look, and when you walk away from a situation, to see whether or not she's coming back for you or she's coming back for your resources. Guys, listen, let me tell you something, man. You got to be dominant, man. And you will never, ever be dominant in a relationship if you do not have the power to walk away. The power to walk away is not about you leaving her. It's about you not accepting what's unacceptable to you. Man, I'm going to cut this short. I'll catch y'all on the next one, man. Y'all be good. Let me know in the comment section what y'all think. Peace.